Hello, guys. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to another episode of the Otumba Adams Show. My name remains Adams Day, and this is the 88th episode of the show. All right. On today's episode, we'll be looking at how to merge your day job and side hustle. How to merge your day job and side hustle. But before we go into what we have for today, how are you guys doing? And how is life? I know I'm supposed to be here, or normally I should have been here yesterday, but I had an event that I had to attend in the city of Lagos, and I had to travel back all the way from Lagos to Ondo State today. And even though I was like, okay, I might not be able to do this show, I was like, let me just come up, let me do this thing, right? In the next 15 minutes, we are done with, and that's about that. All right, so tell me about your week. Tell me about how life has been with you. If you're there, you're watching me live right now, just put your name, your location, and how your week has been in the comment section. I'm sure some of you guys on my Facebook saw the Owambe picture I posted, and like I was looking all handsome and everything else. Anyway, all right, so today's episode we'll be looking at how to merge your day job and side hustle. All right, so if this is your first time of being on the show, so you probably not have much idea what this show is about. All right, so we talk about the entrepreneurial journey and certain things that you need to help you in the entrepreneurial freelancing world, and every other thing that has to do with business. All right, so let's dive right into what I have for today. All right, today's topic is how to merge your side hustle with your day job, or how to merge your day job with your side hustle. Now, what are one of the reasons why people try to like have a side hustle, even though they have a paying 8 to 5 rather, or 8 to 4 or 9 to 5 jobs? All right, it's the very basic reason: money. Everybody needs money, right? And that is the major reason why a lot of people are actually looking for a side hustle to go into. But in trying to go into a side hustle, some people would be like, okay, how can I actually manage this thing properly? How can I actually do this thing properly? All right, for it to be successful on the long run. That's what we'll be looking at today. All right. And for some other people, okay, I'm seeing someone commenting. And Kilo Keys, how are you doing, brother? Welcome to the show. Thank you for being a part of the show today. All right. So for some people, it's they want to leave their current jobs to becoming an entrepreneur, a full-time entrepreneur, right? So they're trying to like test the waters. They're trying to like dip their feet in the water and see if it is something that like they can actually do on the long run. All right. So that's what we'll be looking at today. So number one on the list is very common. Know what you are passionate about, right? Now, before you can start a side hustle, your side hustle has to be something that like you are either passionate about or you are skilled with, right? Before you go into a side hustle, ask yourself that, okay, this thing that I'm about to go into, do I have a passion for this thing? Am I talented in this path? All right, is this thing for me? Because if you just try to like start a business based on the fact that like a lot of people are going into business, then on the long run you're going to make a mistake, right? Because you would enter into it and then you realize that like, hey, this thing is not for me. But you've wasted your money, your resources, your time, your energy, and a lot of things. And at the end of the day, you might even have this notion that like business is not for me. But it is not that business is not for you. It is the type of business that you actually went into. All right. So you need to first of all ask yourself, what am I passionate about? Or what are the skills that I have grown over time that I feel that like I can actually use, or it can become a form of business. All right. You need to ask yourself that question. So once you're able to know that exactly, I can see somebody else commenting. And Olua Tosin Sunday is saying good evening. Good evening to you too, Tosin. Thank you for being a part of the show. All right, so know what you're passionate about, right? You know you already have a job, and the job is taking your time, but you need to first of all ask yourself, okay, what am I passionate about? What can I do seamlessly? Or what do I need to learn if I have to like enter into this thing? But it's always better if you have passion for that thing, all right? So maybe you can ask people that like, people around you that like, okay, what do you feel I can do? All right, because people, your close friends would most likely know the things that like you are very, very comfortable doing, or the skills that you have. There's some things about it that like you might have that you might not even know that like you actually have, but you can ask people that like, okay, hey, do you feel this particular type of business complements my nature, or the things that like I have affinity for. And then please ask the ones that have sense, so not the ones that like will just tell you that like, hey, go into anything, and then at the end of the day, like it's going to crash. All right. So once you ask them, they give you feedback, work on that feedback, and they're like, at least to give you an insight on what to actually go into on the long run. All right. So the number two question, or number 2 point rather, is ask yourself if you can do it for the long haul. All right. Now, it's easy to say that like I want to enter into business, but ask yourself, can I do this thing coupled with my work consistently for the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, even 10 years? Like, if you do not see yourself doing that particular business in the next 3, 4 years, right? Let's say immediate, something not so far, like 3, 4 years, then it is not worth going into. Because if at the end of the day you're going to like remove your hands from it, then why going into it on the long run? All right. Ask yourself, is this something that like I can do over time? If it is, and then you also look at it that like, okay, would this thing be time consuming? Would it consume my time so much that like it will start affecting my business? It will affect other areas of my life, my family, my social life, and everything else. If you cannot strike a balance, then it is a pointer that like it is probably not meant for you. But if there's a way that like you feel that, okay, if I should enter into this thing, I can actually find a way, I can devise a way in such that rather, I can devise a way that I can actually manage my time properly. All right. Once you know that, okay, this thing can work for me, then you are rest assured that, like, okay, you can now move on to what? The next step. All right. So the next step is going to be like, now you started the business, right? You found what you can do. You've asked yourself that, like, okay, can I do this thing for the long haul? You have started the business now. Then the next thing is find your first customer. It is very, very crucial. All right. Find your first customer so that like you would know if this business is viable enough. All right. Find your first customer because it's very, very important. If you can find a customer that can pay for the service you're trying to render, for the side hustle you're trying to go into, then it gets to show you that like this business is something that like I can what's the word now? That I can actually go into. Because if it is something that like you have to cajole people to buy, like you have to beg them, because I know a lot of ladies that like once they start business, they'll start forcing it on you. If the customer doesn't come smoothly based on the fact that like you're trying to solve somebody else's need, all right, because you're going into business just to solve someone's need, not because you're just trying to make profits. You're trying to solve someone's need. And if you can get a client that can actually help the person to solve their need, and then in exchange they pay you for that service you render to them, then you know that like, okay, yes, I have actually gotten my first clients right now. All right. Now, with that, you can then move on to the next point, which is define SMART goals. SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. All right, I'm going to take that again. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. All right, set those goals, right? Like after you've gotten your first client, instead of you to start dreaming about having a million clients or like having 10,000 clients, right? Devise a means whereby like you can tell yourself that, like, okay, for this first month, I want to have my first 15 customers or my first 10 customers, depending on the type of business that you are into and how easy it is to actually get a client. All right. Now tell yourself like give yourself something very, very achievable, nothing over the board. All right. Something achievable that like you know that like, okay, I can actually work towards this thing within this period of time. All right. Within 1 month, I want to get 10 clients, and you work towards it. And then you also do it in such a way that like it does not affect other areas of your life. All right. You work within your time schedule, right? You've already created a time schedule for yourself that is outside your office hours. You know that like you're still working your normal 8 to 4, 9 to 5 job, but this one is now your side hustle, right? You need to be able to like, okay, you've scheduled your time, and then like now tell yourself that like, okay, within this first month, I want to have an X amount of clients that is very, very feasible. All right, very feasible. And once you are able to do that, then you know that like, yeah, you're actually you are on course. All right. Now the next part is outsource anything outside your area of expertise. Outsource anything that is outside your area of expertise. Now, if you realize that you are into business and then there's a part of the business that like you don't really know about or you're not strong at, rather than for you to kill yourself in trying to like get it done by yourself, you're wasting precious time and it would definitely affect every other area of your life. Why don't you just outsource it? Look for people that are already professionals that have had years of experience doing it, and then give it to them to do it for you. All right. At the end of the day, yes, it may cut down on your profit, but it is better to deliver an excellent service than for you to do a shabby job just because you do not want to outsource a certain thing. All right. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and based on your weaknesses, can you outsource them? Find people that are actually good in their own fields that can help you to do that thing. And from there, you'd have a smooth sail. All right. And then the very last point that I have here, which is very, very key and very, very important, is avoid getting fired from your day job. All right. I know that like for some of you guys, the long-term goal is the side hustle to be strong enough for you to be able to transit from your side hustle to sorry, from your main job rather to your side hustle. But you do not want a situation whereby you are putting so much energy into your side hustle and then you forget your day job, your backup plan, or what is funding your business as it were. All right. You wouldn't want to do that because once you're fired from your job, you would have a hiccup. And if you have a hiccup, especially when it comes to finance and business, your business might crash. Everything that you've been working for or working on over the months or probably years, if it hasn't stood the test of time, it would crumble. That's the sad part about business. All right. If let me use Nigerian pigeon, if your business never stand well, it will fall like the small thing, you go shake and everything go do stuff like when I just said shake, I remember something. For those of you that understand, you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, you wouldn't want that to happen to you, right? You wouldn't want to lose your job while your business is yet to fly. You need to get to that point that like you are able to manage both successfully, meaning that like your side hustle must not affect your day job, and then you do not bring your day job to the time that like you should be doing your side hustle. So you have to learn to manage both properly. All right. Till the point that like you are able to stand on your 2 feet, or your business rather, your side hustle is able to stand on your 2 feet. And then you as a person can then transit from your day job to moving down to the side hustle, and then like can then take it up from there. All right. So those are the 6 points I have for this show. I'm just going to take them one more time and then we'll call it today. The first point is know what you're passionate about. The second point is ask yourself if you can do it for the long haul. The third point is find your first paying customer, which is very, very important. Solve their problem and then they'll pay you. Number 4 is define SMART goals. And I said SMART goals is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. All right. Don't build your house in a castle. Have specific goals. And then number 5 is outsource anything outside your area of expertise. And the very last point is avoid getting fired from your job. All right. So as I always say, with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that having what's the word now? Having a side hustle can actually be merged with your day job, and you can actually run both smoothly as long as you know that it won't affect every other aspect of your life. All right. So, guys, thank you very much for sticking around today. And even though I am looking all lively, deep down, I want my bed. Like, I want to go and sleep. I want to go and sleep. Seriously. But then it's cool having you guys here. I really do appreciate you guys. As I always say, if you're here, you're watching me live, right? Help me like, share, all right? Share with your friends. You can share on your status if you're watching from Facebook. If you're watching from YouTube, like, share with your friends, send out the links, let more people know about this show. And I'm going to the 100th episode. I was about to do episode like Yoruba people. I'm Yoruba, please don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna get to the 100th episode. Thank you, Kilo, for saying valid points. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for sticking around today. All right, so share the post with your friends, and I'm going to see you guys again on Wednesday. As I always say, be the best version God has created you to be. All right, guys, I won't go sleep. Peace out.